Tell me a conspiracy theory you feel is true without any evidence. Mine, I think Ryan Reynolds leaked footage before Deadpool, and he did it in another Deadpool movie. It's day 51 of 365. Today's movie, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Much like the film we're discussing, I've released 3 different versions of this video. No hashtags, whichever one's showing up on your For You page is for you. Go check out my profile if you want to see the other openings, and give me a follow while you're there. If you go by Rotten Tomatoes, Dark Phoenix is the worst of the bunch. However, I will say Rotten Tomatoes has Hook at a 27%, so let's just say they're capable of being wrong. X-Men Origins suffered a leak before it ever went to theaters, and this was 2009, so the internet was greedy for any kind of secrets. We didn't have new rock stars breaking down the plot of a movie before it already came out. This way you got to see the whole unfinished film, and even if the film had been perfect, this would have hurt it. Let's go over the 3 reasons I believe that this movie did not work very quickly. There's a blatant disregard for costumes. You cannot tell me that anybody is cosplaying as Gambit from X-Men Origins. I don't believe you. I even looked online to see if I could find anyone, and the first couple pages of Google were pretty dry. Costumes are key for the uniqueness of the X-Men, and the Dark Phoenix movie at least dresses up their X-Men. I'll give them that. 2, boring dialogue. Dark Phoenix at least allows its characters to struggle and express themselves. This movie has so many moments that I left myself wondering, did anyone write this script, or did they have AI back in 2009 that they just weren't telling us about? 3 is side quests. There's one real goal for the movie. Give this angel its wings, or give Wolverine his claws, whichever comes first. This movie instead decides to fridge and then unfridge the heroine, and then gives us a bunch of side games, logging and playing Punch-Out and poker in a club. Listen, I'm not joking when I tell you this could pass for a Yakuza game with the amount of side quests that they go on before they can even get to the good part. X-Men Origins is directed by Gavin Hood and stars huge jacked man, Liev Schreiber, and Ryan Reynolds as Wolverine, Sabretooth, and Deadpool, 3 of my favorite X-Men of all time. I was absolutely stoked to hear that this was the lineup for this movie, so color me absolutely surprised when I got to the theater and the movie was kinda ass. I grew up on this stuff. Saturday mornings for me were the X-Men TV show, Batman the Animated Series, and Superman the Animated Series. I loved all of them, and if you think I'm weird for mixing Marvel and DC as a kid, you're actually weird for thinking a kid should know about that shit. For me, it was all superheroes in costumes saving the world. That's all that mattered to me. That's all that really matters here. So outside of my double dipping, I was very excited when I found out these movies were coming to theaters in live action, PG-13, just for me as a teenager, baby. I was absolutely stoked. It felt to me like my movies were growing with me. So then imagine my surprise when I get to the theater and there's growing pains to go along with this growth. This movie has been dragged at length, and I don't think I can really add anything to that conversation. And I also believe that Gavin Hood deserves his day in court. You see, he was actually going out for a much harsher tone. Are you thinking about Logan? Because I'm thinking about Logan. And Fox said no. His original pitch was World War II vets with PTSD. And then, 15 years later, they give us X-Men with PTSD, and that movie does gangbusters, and everyone says it's the best thing that's been ever made in this series. I think Gavin Hood deserves an apology for Fox saying no to his absolutely gonzo great pitch. Not only do I think that this would have set a better tone for the series, which is something the X-Men have struggled with in live action, but I think it would have made it more tonally consistent. By the time we get to Logan, it would have felt like a more complete universe. So within the dogpiling on Gavin and the studio being stupid, I've decided instead of dogpiling myself to actually list 3 things that I really love about this movie. Despite what I've said to this point, I'm taking these as little microcosms of creativity. The first one is The Blob. I love Kevin Durand. He's a crazy actor who always goes for it. and they did all of his shit practically. This is a movie that's bombarded in CGI, and instead they do the balancing act of giving us a full practical effect scene with quips. Honestly, the only thing that could have improved this, in my opinion, would have been comic book bubbles to make the quips hit a little bit better, because it does start feeling a little bit like Spider-Man in the script at this point, and I don't mind that. Regardless, it's one of the bright spots of the execution, in my opinion. Number 2, this is the one that everybody lists, the opening montage. Now, I'm not a big fan of childhood Logan, like the actual opening acting, but it does launch us into what is the best montage in the X-Men series to date. They have not topped this montage. It is tonally perfect for what's coming down the line in future movies. Honestly, you could pull this out and put it at the beginning of Logan and improve that movie. I'm not kidding. Not a single one of these movies has matched that to this date. And I know this is the one everybody lists, so that's why I put it second. But let me go into the next one that nobody ever lists. My third favorite thing about X-Men Origins is Deadpool. Okay, wait. Hear me out. I have good points here. I think Ryan Reynolds is aptly annoying for this character. And taking the merc with the mouth and shutting his fucking mouth is, in my opinion, one of the best meta jokes that they could have added into the movie. This is something Deadpool would do to another version of himself, almost guaranteed. This sequence has turned into fodder for other Fox franchises, much to the delight of the audience, and I would never rob anyone of the laughter and the memes that have come out of this. And you might think I'm joking, but actually this movie gives us a whole entire act of Ryan Reynolds, merc with a mouth, actual Deadpool, quipping up through an elevator with a legitly cool action sequence. So I don't even feel robbed for real Deadpool in this movie. He pulls that character straight out of it and drops it into the actual Deadpool movie. He's playing the same character. I don't care what they say. I know they say this is a different Deadpool. He is doing the same performance. Maybe a little turned up, maybe a little raunchier because it's R-rated. Regardless, you could drop this scene in as the opening to the Deadpool movie and not hurt the movie for it. After we see this full version of the merc with the mouth, they dip him in acid, they bleach his asshole, they shut his mouth, and then they send him off with a totally different actor. That's fucking hilarious to me. The meta Deadpool that I know from the comics laughs his ass off at this shit. I may stand alone on this hill, and that's my cross to bear, but I think this is one of the best meta jokes written about Deadpool that has ever gone to theaters. And yes, I've seen all 3 of the other Deadpool movies. They're fine. They're cute. I prefer Deadpool comics, if I'm being real. And I'll give you one bonus one. Charles Xavier's shiny bald head. This uncanny valley cameo has to be one of my favorite laugh out loud moments anytime I watch this movie. Why the fuck is he so fucking shiny? I've decided that all of the funky CGI was worth it just for that little bit. Mwah. Pure camp cinema. Up next, Star Trek 2009. I will see you tomorrow. If I had a nickel for every time Deadpool was in a movie that had footage leak before release, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. What's the worst X-Men movie? Rotten Tomatoes says that it's Dark Phoenix, but I feel otherwise, and I'll tell you why.